just went for a walk. And I didn't even shower, didn't put on makeup, didn't do my hair. This is me. This is Infinite Light with Shawnee. This is the message. Sister, you've been on my mind, oh, sister, we're two of a kind, my sister. You and I have been through the same traumatic events. 1985, The Color Purple came out, the original motion picture, and there's a scene, God is trying to tell you something. I will link it down below. God is trying to tell you something with this video. You don't click on videos. You don't make moves in your life. Nothing happens through mistake. You are here because you have been through. You are here because you have seen your way through. I'm gonna let you in on my journey. I just recently had one of my abusers tell me, I'm praying for you. No. Ooh, no. Let's spray that gone. No. I'm gonna add some lavender to that. Some Florida water, some lavender. No. The last thing that I need is for you to pray for me as one of my abusers. No. Ladies and gentlemen, when your abusers come towards you with false apologies, with false accusations, with words of prayer and words of wisdom because they have found themselves, you return that back to sender. You don't have to be crude or rude about it. You don't have to say a thing, but make sure that energetically you return that back to sender, because who knows who they are praying to, and who knows what they are feeling when they're sending a prayer your way. You've been through enough toxic with these people. It's better just to separate and move on and move forward. God is trying to tell you something. I use a lot of sort of religious sort of terms in my videos, and I understand that does not necessarily resonate with some people, but you have to understand that's a part of my culture. So therefore it's a part of my vernacular. But this is the truth. God, you can name God whatever you wish to name him, but today I'm going to name God God. God is trying to tell you something. You can't sleep at night and you wonder why. At night sometimes you cry and you ask for God to give you signs, to speak to you. Oh, speak to me. Well, God is trying to tell you something right now. You cannot go back to the past. You can't. And you can't allow those people from the past to disrupt your right now. You are meant for so much more. That's why God took you out of that place. That's why God has removed you from those people. And if they have not been removed, they are being removed. Watch my other videos. You are not forgotten. And sometimes, yes, it takes a while to kind of move all of the pieces of your life around. But know this, have faith. You are stronger than your current circumstance. You are brighter than you have been allowed to show your light. In that same clip that I'm going to attach down here, the Color Purple, and this version of this motion picture, the abuser is actually there witnessing the woman who is finding her grace, finding her power within, the light that's always been there. His name is Mr. And Mr. is sitting on the porch and he's hearing her find her angelic voice. And what that is telling me is that if you continue the way that you have been going on your healing journey, they're going to see it. She doesn't go up to Mr. and say, you've put me through this, that, and the other. Neither of the people that he abused say that at this point in the story. They just flourish and they start realizing their dreams, and they start removing those blockages, and that allows for blessings to manifest. And Mr. can't say nothing. He has no leg to stand on. Meanwhile, she is walking in her grace and singing out to God, speak to me. And then the response is, God is trying to tell you something. This is your message. God is trying to tell you something. Towards the end of that scene, that clip, she sees her dad. And in one movement down a path of grace, all in one forward momentum, she passes her abuser in grace, in all of her light and all of her glory, without even paying him any mind, not even looking to the left. She looks forward and goes forward into the church, and there's her dad. And they have had some issues in the past. And he too has tried to stifle or cover her shine because they just didn't have an understanding. And at the end of the clip, she receives a healing of her father wound. And so what does this tell me? This tells me a couple of things. This says that you have had a life of strife. And it started in childhood. And you've got some mother and some father wounds that you have maybe not wanted to allow them to surface because you've kept them buried down. Because I'm fine now. I don't need to worry about that. But let me tell you something. The more you heal, the more you realize that you have to heal. And those wounds that you haven't healed from childhood will stay with you forever and have power until you address them. So take the time to address them as well on your healing journey. You have passed your abusers, the ones that abused you in your recent past or in your adulthood. You've surpassed, and they are watching you go. But don't forget that there were things that helped lay the foundation for who you are that need to be addressed, because those have cracks in them. And the last thing you want is for who you are to diminish or to fall. You don't want that to happen. You've built too much thus far. So address those child wounds. Address those issues that you might have had with your father. Address those issues that you might have had with your mother or father or mother figure, or the environments in which you were in the past. There's a lot of abuse, and they didn't just come from your mother and your father, but there are it's like an onion, right? And there's levels that there's layers that you have to peel back. And I say onion and not a cake because it's sour and it's going to make you cry. And that is okay. But don't be that person who gets to a point of healing past their most recent abuser and then give up on the healing. Because you will not ever see your fullest potential until you start looking back. History will repeat itself in other ways. This is probably a slightly different message than what I normally deliver. I'm not going to be pulling any tarot cards. I'm not going to be pulling any oracle cards. But that song and that scene spoke to me. And I want you to take the time after you view this video to to look at that video. It's going to take you minutes out of your day, but those minutes are going to plant seeds of mobility, of momentum, of motivation. And you do me a favor right now. And this is not for me saying that I'm trying to beat an algorithm or grow my channel, but do me a favor right now. Share this video, because this is one thing that I know. You are not the only one that you have seen hurt. You have seen so many others along your path that have not been able to take themselves out the way that you have. And you might be lucky. I know in my case, I can't get her picture out of my head. But in my case, I have lost a friend. Her abuser took her from this earth plane. I know that she's here and I know that she's listening, but if you are lucky enough to have friends who are still here, share this with them. And even if you don't share my video with them, because, maybe you might be afraid that the abuser can hear this audio, then just share the color purple video with them. And literally just say, I love you. And literally just say, you are strong. She believed she could, so she did. And I am using a lot of feminine terms because I am. But abuse doesn't just reside in the feminine realm. Women and men, boys and girls are constantly witnesses and victims to abuse and don't know even what it is to have the gumption to realize who they truly could be. So maybe it's a share today that can get them where they need to be. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. But God is trying to tell you something. And that is that you are on the right path of healing. Continue. Don't give up on yourself, on your future, on your kids. Don't give up, because your soul is calling you to greater things and love. Okay, I'm going to end it right there. Love and light to everybody. See you later. Bye.